Right, so we have discussed the first two types of impacts of marketing on society, which is basically reflecting the criticisms on marketing, right, related to the sustainable marketing being ethically or socially responsible and also environmentally responsible. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, which is basically marketing impact on the other businesses. Okay. Again, guys, what is the purpose of founding a business? Well, at the end of the day, we expect growth. Again, look, this if we refer to the introduction, when it comes to the entrepreneurship topic, the entrepreneurial topic that we discussed before briefly, we want to grow the business, right? At the end of the day, and in doing so, we may harm the other companies, right? We grow the business very strongly, and it may in fact stop the other companies to grow, okay? Or whatever we do, it may also escalate the barriers to entry to the industry, okay? So if you look at marketing activities, right? Either you launch new products, okay? You run advertising campaign, digital direct marketing campaign, and the other campaigns that you design, right? That will actually contribute to the barriers to entry, right? As a result, the other players will find it hard to compete in that industry, to operate in that industry. Okay. If you look at supermarket industry, for instance, in Australia market, look, a lot of industries in Australia are basically in oligopoly competition, where we only have a few players in that market. Okay, these few players in that market actually control the majority of the market, right? Australia, by nature, may have lots of industry, a lot of large industries fall into that category. Okay. Why is that? Because geographically, that presents a natural barrier to entry for us. We are kind of in the south, okay, and it's hard to be linked to the other markets as well. And on the other side, we have such a huge land that is a challenge for us to develop a strong distribution network to reach the customers, right? So there are natural barriers to entry already. Okay, so if you look at supermarket industry as an example, for instance, it presents to us a lot of natural barriers to entry already, right? So we have Woolies and Coles, for instance, right? Both of them actually dominate the market in Australia. Okay, now Aldi came in because they have strong financial backup as well. Okay, therefore they can participate pretty nicely in this industry. Okay, but if you think about it further, right? The other players like pubs and mom shops or little grocery store in the corner of the street, they may find it hard to compete, right? They may find it hard to become a larger one, to become a large chain store like Woolies and Coles to compete with them because of the barriers to entry. Aside from natural barriers to entry that we have, okay, these companies, the large players, also compete, right? They run advertising campaigns, they drop the pricing, they drop the prices. They have the ability to do so because they have strong bargaining position to the supplier since their volume is large. Okay, and the pubs and mom shop in the store, in the grocery, in the corner of the street may find it hard to have a better bargaining position to the supplier. All right, so that's an example where a lot of businesses grow. And it may cost the other businesses in terms of escalating the barriers to entry. Okay, so how do marketers respond with to the accusation of the well, you have actually escalated the barriers to entry? Well, again, marketing organizations will normally quote the economic system that we all build together in this capitalism system, where we have the right to compete, okay, and we have the right to fulfill the customer's needs and demands better than the others, and after that we also have the right to claim our incentives, all right, in the format of profit. Okay. I didn't hear that actually. Mine is pretty okay actually. Guys, can you please mute? Yeah, okay. I hope it's fine now. Okay, cool. I hope it is fine now. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing in terms of marketing's impact on their businesses. It escalates the barriers to entry. Okay. And how do marketing organizations respond to it? Well, they normally explain that we actually operate in the economic system that we adopt together. All right. As a society. All right. As the in the economic system. Okay. The other thing in terms of marketing's impact on their businesses is about the acquisition. Okay, now because of the business growing very well, okay, the other business may struggle. As a result, we may have the opportunity to acquire their business. Okay, now acquisition is a complicated thing to discuss, right? Especially from ethical perspective. In theory, if one business acquires the other business, right? The business may have a larger volume. All right. With the larger volume, we expect from economic management perspective, this business would have a better economies of scale. Okay, because of large volume, they have better bargaining position to the suppliers. For instance, they have more efficiency from running the operations of this product, for instance. Okay, so they can potentially pass the the cost, reduce the costs, right, and then pass that onto the consumer's benefits. All right, so that's what we expect in terms of acquisition. Okay, but in reality, it may not happen. All right, so that is another moral dilemma. All right. So how does the marketing organizations respond to it? Well, again, let the company, let the business that can meet the customers better to win the competition. That is the system that we create together in this economic system, in this capitalism system. Okay, because we actually appreciate those the winners because of meeting the customers' demand better, right? Not to mention a number of businesses that have been replaced by another business, another brand, another company, because the other company offers something better, right? And you may recall that we discussed mobile phone category, for instance, who was the market leader 20 years ago, who is the market leader now, because these guys can replace with a better one for the customers, meeting customers need better, okay? All right, so that's basically the marketing's impact on the other businesses. Okay, so the other three types of impact that I recommend you to look at in terms when you address your the ethical considerations, the sustainable marketing issues, right? The impact marketing's impact on individual consumers, marketing impact on society as a whole, and the third one is marketing's impact on their businesses. All right. You don't need to explain everything. You need, if you can pick up two things from there and give the examples, appropriate examples of the relevant concept, that will be the one that you need to talk about in your 5 minutes video recording. Okay. Right, again, guys, as mentioned before, when I show you examples or images, it doesn't mean to be an offense to anybody or any group. Okay, they just meant to be a discussion in class. Okay. If you look at that, the New Zealand Standard Advertising Standard Board approved it. Well, because there's no pornographic imagery in here, okay? But the local community ran a protest against it. Well, it's not, our Christian value doesn't agree with it, okay? And actually, if you look at that, it was a billboard placed by the St. Matthew City Church in New Zealand somewhere, okay? And they tried to make Jesus as close to human as possible, okay? And so finally they decided to pull the billboard down, right, replace another one. And the other billboard, the new billboard that they use, basically describes Mother Mary with a pregnancy test showing positive signs. Okay, well, look, yeah, that's again, as we discussed earlier, that ethical issue actually goes beyond legislation. Okay, of course, legislation is one of the source of information for us to judge whether something's good or bad because it has legal issues. Okay. And I'm not going to play that video, but if you play that video, there are some issues as well with this brand, Marc Jacobs. Okay, and there is an ad that they run in the UK that shows with the kind of sexualizing little girl. Although the code offending in that video was at the time was at the age of 18, but she looked like below age. Okay, that was the reason why the UK Advertising Standards Board asked Marc Jacobs to pull it out. Okay, another one actually. Advertising that has been considered as an offense, right? This one here is the Victoria's Secret, the American lingerie suppliers. And again, this one here is the case in the UK where they have been asked to pull out the campaign. Okay, and look, there are a number of issues as well in terms of running campaign. I gave you some examples before. Well, you can again research your own examples. Okay, and these are some actions in terms of promoting sustainable marketing, consumerism, environmentalism, and public actions to regulate marketing, basically. And in terms of consumerism, we know that some organizations drive the movement, right, to improve the rights and power of the buyers in relation to the other to sellers. Okay, if you look at in telecommunication industry, for instance, they have we have in Australia we have telecommunication industry ombudsman to help us, you know, understanding our rights and in relations to when we have some issues with the telecommunication providers. Okay. Environmentalism, we have some organizations from the concerned citizens, okay, such as the Greenpeace organization, okay, and if you look at it further, actually in Australia, we have some organizations that run the kind of social enterprise, adopting the social enterprise approach to support the environment by recycling the products that have been wasted, in quotes, right? The households the families may have dumped them into the garbage bin, and they try to recycle it, right, to help contributing to the environment. Okay, and there's also strong pressures in terms of public actions to regulate marketing. There's some organizations to having kind of regulate their own industry, such as the social media industry, the direct marketing industry. We have some associations in it as well to help us giving the guidance in terms of providing, you know, kind of good, bad, or code of conduct, basically, in practicing marketing. Okay. Right, so this is the one that we discussed before, materialism defenders, okay, and some issues, and I also put up the how marketers defend it, okay. That one is the one that we discussed before in terms of Maslow's theory in relation to the ethical, being marketers have been accused of driving the world of the materialism, okay. Okay, right, so I'm not going to discuss that. Now, look, guys, eventually we expect that being ethical, we expect that to have generate support from the stakeholders when we practice marketing in an ethical manner. Okay, so we look after the environment. We also, you know, socially responsible. Okay, so we can invite support from our stakeholders, such as the customers, which is our #1 stakeholder, the government agencies, and also our own employees. Okay, so with that, we can expect to perform well as well in the markets. Okay. Right, so that's basically a bit of issues in terms of sustainable marketing, and there are some legal compliance program as well that includes the competition law, contract, and consumer law, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to discuss them, okay? And there are several, I think at the back here, I put some examples like this one, the supersonic I mentioned to you before. And that's basically our topic for sustainable marketing, basically. Okay. Any questions, guys?
Eddie, I've got one. This may be premature, but just wanted to cover off the construct of the presentation.
Sorry, I can't hear you well. Sorry, hang on a second.
Sorry, I'll get close to the mic. Can you hear me better?
Yes, I can hear you better. Yes.
Okay, cool. Eddie, just the construct of the presentation, what would you like to see? So my understanding is Zoom, you'd like to see a video as well as a PowerPoint presentation recorded 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, the PowerPoint presentation is an option for you. Okay, so can I just show you the assessments? Okay, so we can discuss the assessment now. Okay, let me just share my other file. Okay, look, the PowerPoint slide is an optional for you. Okay, you have two options. Okay, you can write your speech notes. Okay, or you can type a PowerPoint slide presentation and present it like this. All right, using Zoom, or you can record. You can get someone to record it using the your own camera, such as your mobile phone camera. Okay, and you present it. That's fine. Either one is fine. Okay, and after that, I would appreciate if you can upload it onto your YouTube channel, because otherwise it may slow down my computer downloading the files. Accessing YouTube channel would be much faster. Yeah, and after you get the link from your YouTube channel, just copy and paste your link to your speech note or a PowerPoint slide. Okay. So yes, to answer to your question, do you have to have the PowerPoint slide? You don't have to. It is an option. Okay, but at least you have either a PowerPoint slides or speech notes. Okay, because you need to upload something to your assessment link. Yeah, have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you, Eddie. And internal, you just want to see marketing impact to consumers, environment, and other businesses.
I need to probably I have to.
Sorry about that. Could you repeat that again? Sorry.
Sure. Can you hear me okay? Or is that better?
Okay, yeah, that's better now. Yep.
Okay. From a content, you wanted to see marketing impact to consumers, environment, and other businesses, and that's it for the 5 minutes?
That's it.
Okay.
For 5 minutes. Yeah. That's actually a good question, Dan, and I've been trying to communicate that as well, actually. So yes, you can select from those impact. All right, that represents the ethics and also environment. All right, and give the examples. You discuss that in 5 minutes, present it in 5 minutes. That's basically it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. That answers my question. Thanks.
Right. Okay, cool. Any other questions, guys?
No, Eddie, all good.
All good.
Yep.
Cool.
All good for me. Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. Let me just call around. I think. How about you, Matt? Any questions from you?
I'm good with that.
All good. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. How about you, Ben?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Eddie.
Fantastic. Bhagawati, how about you?
Yes, all good.
All good. Wow, fantastic, fantastic. And then I guess we have discussed that. Jess, how about you, Jess? Pretty clear? Yes? Oh, all right, I'll come back to Jess. Mohammed, how about you, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Simon?
Yeah, hi Eddie. I think so. That should be okay.
Yeah, look, 5 minutes, guys. I am fully aware that in 5 minutes, yeah, you know, we have some time, but yeah, just make it straightforward. There are the issues, bang. You discuss the concepts and you discuss the examples, right? You discuss why this is an issue. This is the concept, why this is an issue, right? And example, okay? Tarani, how about you, Tarani?
All good.
Oh, good, fantastic. Okay. Jess? Jess? Any questions from you?
I think I'm right too.
All right, okay, thanks a lot, thanks a lot. Okay, well, guys, if you don't have any questions, I guess, you know, I'll off you from the hook, and thanks a lot for joining me today, and good luck, yeah?
Thanks, Eddie.
Thanks,
Have
Eddie.
a great weekend, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
have a
you.
great weekend, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Eddie.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.